What's up? Welcome. Thank you for checking out the video. Back again with the fire units. I'm going to do a quicker intro this time because I do not want to spend another hour and a half going over units. So let's get right into this. We got the fire wisp. Yeah, he does nothing except experience points. You get him in the story. Yada yada. All right. Fire steel wings. Good base speed. Skill 3. Recover HP all allies and grant 3-turn attack up. Killed up down to 3 turns. Great unit. I use him in my snake tunnel, the death team. Um, at 6-star, he gets the accuracy boost, 20%. Skill 2, attack an enemy 3 times. Each attack inflicts 2-turn incurable. This is why I take him for the incurable and the multi-hit in skill 2. And then Fireball, another multi-hit, 2 attacks, and he does attack down with this with a 50% chance. Again, he gets the accuracy boost. This great unit for that dungeon. Um, I don't know if he would be good in other dungeons, but he is great for Death Lab. That's it, Death Lab. Um, I have not tried him in any of the Abyss dungeons. I don't know how good he would be. I have not seen him used there. Only place I really see him used is that Death Lab, and he is great for it. Um, Probably be a pretty decent territory war unit. Same with airship. And now my game's gonna play dumb. Sorry, guys. All right, that's the Fire Steel Wings. On to the Clockwork. Honestly, this guy's better than I gave him credit. He is one of those luck rate is excavate skill 3. Digging mysterious ores grants various buffs to all allies for 3 turns. The higher the luck rate, the more effects may appear. Possible effects include attack up, crit up, and healing over turn. The higher the luck rate, the higher the chance that he gets all 3, basically. Um, I think it's like 150. It might be a little bit higher to get all 3. Um, I know I've got him in a team that's at 130 and he doesn't pop up all 3. So, still fiddling with that. And once I have that nailed down, I will do a Fire Clockwork Spotlight along with the other luck rate units. I'll just call it luck rate units, and we will go over just what that is once I figure it out. Skill 2, Ambush. A lot of the Clockworks have this. Attacks enemy afterwards, grant yourself 2-turn speed up, damage based on your speed. Nice little unit. He actually does a pretty good amount of damage. 6-star, he gets the element critical leader. It's 18%, just like the other one. Then skill 1 knock, attack an enemy, inflict 2-turn speed down, damage based on your speed again. So speed based unit, support, throws a bunch of buffs, heals. He's a pretty good unit. People are using him a lot in Juggernaut and Abyss. Fire Popo Rider. You guys are gonna know who this is right away. Leader skill, right off the bat. Fire teammates get 25% attack. Not bad. Not bad at all. 6 stars, she gains 15 speed, already has a base speed of 102. So once she is stacked, that is 5 more fire popos are fed to her, and she is 6-starred. Her speed is 122. Get it? 15 plus another 5 to 102, 122. Skill 3, Headwind. Inflict 2-turn speed down to all enemies with a 100% chance once she is skilled up, and decrease their action bar by 30%. 3-turn cooldown once it is fully skilled as well. Great unit. She is great for tunnel, great for all PvE really, where you're trying to do pushback. I use her for metal, uh, She's in my anonymous team. Yeah, she's great all around unit. Great all around unit. Highly recommend building more than one, depending on if you want to play with her build for speed tuning for dungeons. So, good unit to have more than one of. Popo Butt skill 2, attacks enemy damage based on target's max HP. She does not need attack power, she needs crit rate and crit damage. The higher the crit rate and if crit rate's 100%, the higher the crit damage, the more damage she pumps out based on target HP. It's that simple. The higher the crit damage, the more damage she does. Skill 1 swing, attack an enemy with a 70% chance to inflict 2-turn blind. That one's kind of dumb, but great unit, great unit. Fire Dome Fighter. She is pretty good herself. 6-star, she gets 15% crit lead. She is great for guild content as she gets this 25% defense boost, and that is to all teammates. It does not matter what element, which is always good. Skill 3, Utmost Swing. Attack an enemy 2 times, damage based on your defense, and ignores target's defense. You will get a 1-turn stun after using this ability. But you put her on immunity, she doesn't get stunned. It's great. Skill 2, Booing. Grants yourself 2-turn defense up, and then inflict 1-turn taunt to all enemies with a 100% chance once she is skilled up. And then skill 1, Consecutive Drive. Attack an enemy 2 times. Each attack inflicts 1-turn stun with a 60% chance, damage based on your defense. And she buffs her defense. Great unit. Leader skill for defense as well. Uh, Seen a couple people that are pumping out just insane amount of damage with her from her skill 3 because she ignores defense. Ignores defense. Fire Hog Chef. Fantastic little unit. I have like 3 of these built for Territory War. Great unit. Great unit. All around defense leader skill. It's good everywhere. 18%. Always good. She is an initiator. She is meant to go first. Her passive skill refill at the start of your turn, remove 2 debuffs and recover HP by 10% for the ally with the lowest HP. At the start of the turn, she's going to remove debuffs, do some healing. So you want her to turn cycle and cycle and cycle and cycle. That's why I mentioned faith gear for her. So if she gets hurt, she's cycling and just getting that refill passes off more and more again. And her skill 2, she does the attack up, effect up, and increases the action bar by 100% of one ally. Just one. Charge, attack an ally, attack an enemy, increase action bar by 10% of the ally with the highest action bar. So she's going to make that next moon unit that's set to go even closer to go. Nice unit like her. Fire Sharpshooter. She is very good. I use her in multiple dungeons. I use her in Abyss. She has a team up mechanic with a crit buff as her skill 2 gang fight, where she teams up with 2 allies and crit buffs the entire team. I like the crit buffs for the entire team. It means I don't got to go to 100% for the crit rate. Her skill 3 volley shoots 6 arrows. The first 3 will definitely hit the selected target, while the last 3 will randomly choose other targets. Depending on the amount of targets, will depend on where they all go. But at least the first 3 will hit the designated target, and then you absorb 20% of the enemy's action bar for each arrow. Each arrow absorbs 20% of the action bar, so you can feasibly refill your action bar and go again with this unit. The lower the target's action bar, the greater the damage. So the more action bar you pull away, the more damage she pushes out. Then her skill 1, Sharp Arrow, attack an enemy and inflict 2-turn defense down. She is great paired up with other sharpshooters that have this mechanic as well because it is great for Abyss. Great for Abyss. And like all the sharpshooters, fire teammate gets plus 18 speed. This is all of them, and then a sharp arrow gets improved additional hit to a second hit. You get a second hit of sharp arrow once she is 6-starred. So she has a double hit as well, which is why I use her for my death lab. Fire Turtle Tank. Not gonna lie, guys, all these turtle tanks are pretty good. Uh, Elemental HP leader skill, which I never use, but this takeover skill, defense up and stealth. Takeover, you grant all allies the defense up and stealth for 2 turns. Remember that stealth where you make the other allies um, basically impervious to single target attacks? Well, he is a huge tank, so he is basically the like reverse taunting almost. Um, but he is pulling aggro from everybody that has a single target skill to protect all of the other units on your team. And stealth also reduces AoE damage by 15%. So they're taking less damage because of it. Recoil, attack an enemy 2 times. Each attack has a 70% chance, once skilled up, to stack 1 turn. So you can add turns of taunt if someone's already taunted. That's kind of cool. When this skill is in cooldown, there is a 70% chance to counter attack when attacked. Damage based on your max HP. Like I said, you're gonna build him tanky. So good to have it be part of the mechanic to have it be based on your max HP, right? Air cannon, attack an enemy and has a 50% chance to inflict a 1 turn stun, damage based on your max HP. Again, max HP. Great little unit. I really like this guy. 98 base speed once stacked. Good little unit. Um, I'm sorry. He gets used in guild content mostly. Pretty decent little unit for guild content. Cult Dancer, I use her in Abyss because of her skill 1. Attack an enemy, damage based on target's max HP. I like skills that go after max HP. This is also good for the survival simulator, as she has other skills like this Crescent. Attack an enemy 4 times. Each turn has a 50% chance to inflict 2 turn defense down. Afterward, grant all allies 2 turn speed up. Damage based on your max HP. You're making her a tank, but you can also get some crit rate and crit damage in there for her just to hit a little bit harder. It kind of makes it fun. At least it does for me. Extend the duration of buffs and shorten the duration of debuffs for 1 turn for all allies and recover their HP by 20%. Recovery amount increases according to the number of buffs/debuffs granted on each target. The more buffs, more shields. Good unit for Abyss. Good unit for Abyss. Bouncing Joker. As 6-star becomes an arena attack leader. I believe it's 25 maybe. It might be only 18, but you're not really going to use him as a leader skill in an arena, let's be honest. Skill 3, Dramatic Entrance. Grant all allies 2 turn attack up and has a 100% chance to inflict 2 turn uncurable to all enemies. I do think that he is underrated for Death Lab. Um, if you've been watching my videos, you know about cost reduction and trying to be as efficient as possible by using 3-star units. So I have one built. I am working on figuring out how to get him incorporated into a 3 and 4-star only team for all of the dungeons. And once I have 3 and 4-star only teams that are more cost effective, I will be bringing them to you. I also have other guildmates that are working on cost effective teams so that we can bring that information out. Um, because I'll be honest, guys, farming at 10 energy a pop is just not cost effective when you can be doing it for 8.3, you know? But yeah, dramatic entrance skill 3. Skill 2 has that chain slap. This thing can go off for a while. I have watched him completely tear through an entire level in Abyss in one chain slap. He just wrecks right through it. Just keeps going and going and going and going and going until he's dead. Well, he's not dead, but he's at the next. Like when you're, if you're in the Abyss, he's got those two little things where he does his counterattack. Oh, I've watched him take him from the first one all the way to the second one in 1 turn. This guy, this guy, right here. Oh, this little fucker with this move Attacks enemy 2 times and attacks consecutively with a 40% chance. So he's always going to hit twice. 40% chance to go 4, then 6, then 8, then 10. And as long as you keep getting lucky with your 40% chance, he could go 12, 14, 16. He can just keep going and going and going. Soft slap. Attack an enemy and inflict 1 turn attack down. This attack ignores enemy's defense. All of these bouncing jokers ignore defense. That is why I'm so interested in using them. This is one of the few ones that doesn't have a heal mechanic in him, but he has this incurable. And he has the attack up, which I kind of like. So, little bouncing joker, underrated unit. Fire Giant. Dungeon defense leader skill. I don't see anybody using him as a leader skill, but he's got it. Shockwaves. Attack an enemy 5 times. This is a single target move. Each attack has a 40% chance to ignore the target's defense. Damage based on your defense. Higher your defense, higher you hit them. Pretty straightforward. And you got the multiplier right here. 100% defense times 5. Call of Arms gets improved at 6-star. Goes up to 24% of your max HP. And you get a cooldown down to 3 turns. Body Press, skill 1. He gets the taunt mechanic. Attack an enemy and inflict 1 turn taunt. 80% chance. Once he's skilled up, damage based on your max HP. Max HP and max defense. So this guy is kind of stat hungry for a 3-star, which is not always the greatest, but he does have decent speed. Once he gets stacked up, and 3-stars are just easier to stack because there are a lot more 3-stars that are going to be available to you. So it's a lot easier to get these guys' speeds up. Fire your Rolleon, Bagel. Your Rolleon. I actually like this guy. I see him used in a lot of places. Um, he's been used. I can see him used in a Abyss. He's used in dungeons. I wouldn't be surprised if there are people using him for Juggernaut because he has this attack up and action bar increase of all allies by 30% for skill 3. You're not really going to worry about his elemental resistance leader skill, but skill 2 Honey, restore 20% HP. So he's got a heal and he's got a 1 turn of immunity. And then he's got skill 1 Spike, attack an enemy and apply uncurable with a 100% chance once he's skilled up. So pretty good little unit. Pretty good little unit. Again, for those cost-effective teams, this is a unit to consider. Fire Pumpkin Freak, I have seen him used. I built one and I can't make him work right. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Attack all enemies 2 times. Each attack has a 100% chance to inflict 3-turn damage over turn. Becomes an elemental accuracy leader at 6-star, which is nothing. We got the Pumpkin Vine. Attack the enemy 3 times, each with a probability of 80% chance to remove 1 buff, apply 2 turns of defense down, and apply 2 turns of speed down. I have seen him used in Death Lab. I I prefer a different pumpkin in Death Lab, but I have seen this one used in Death Lab. Um, he could potentially be good for some guild content. I don't really think he'd be good going into the simulator, but we will do a video on that maybe next week. We'll see. And that was the end of the 3-stars. On to the 4-stars. Hey, only 19 minutes in. We're cutting down the time. We're cutting down the time. This is low key a pretty good unit. And we're frozen. There we go. Ooh. Uh, arena leader skill for arena speed skill. So she gets 25 speed, not 25%, 25 speed. Leader skill in arena when she is 6-starred. She has this skill 3 blade dance, attack enemy, dance of shield. I don't know why I said blade dance. Dance of Shield. Attack an enemy 4 times randomly, with each attack having a 100% chance to inflict 2 turn defense down, damage based on your defense, and increase by 15% for each debuff on the target. Damage based on your defense and increased by 15 for each debuff on the target. So you want her not being your fastest unit if you use her. You want her hitting with other debuffs already on the units, so that her damage is increased. Because this skill 2, self defense, grants yourself 3 turn defense up and immunity. 3 turns of defense up and immunity, pretty decent for a 4 star. It's single target, but it's pretty decent. 3 turns. Gain an extra turn after using this ability. So you use this, buff your own defense, and then you use this to light people up after you have your other units throw some dots on. That's the idea behind the Sky Police. And you have Shield of Law skill 1, defense down. Attack an enemy and inflict 1 turn of defense down with a 100% chance once she is skilled up. Damage based on your defense. If you get attacked, you have a 25% chance to counterattack the enemy with this skill, and she will pop that defense break. Um, I kind of like putting these units on Bash because of this built-in revenge mechanic. Um, all the units that have this built-in revenge mechanic, I think Bash is an advantageous um, set. That's just me though. Fire String Maid, guild unit. All teammates get a 33% defense boost during a guild battle. Um, I do not have one built yet. I am working on it. Um, Very good speed. Once she is stacked and 6-starred, it goes up to 115, which is always good. Skill 3, cover shot, attack all enemies 3 times. Yeah, I really need to get this built. With each attack having a 60% chance to remove 1 buff. Yep. Afterwards, grant all allies 3 turn of defense up, damage based on your speed. Yep, 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 yep. She's an initiator. Good for you. Recover HP by 36% once skilled up, and increase action bar by 100% of target ally. Pretty good, pretty good. Skill 1, rolling shot. Attack all enemies 3 times. Each attack has a 30% chance to decrease action bar by 30%. Not a high chance even after skill up, but if it does hit, that's a big decrease. And she has three shots at it. So that's why it's only a 30% chance. Fire ant cannon. I like all of the ant cannons. Speed leader once he becomes 6-starred, which I believe is going to be 18. I don't have one 6-starred yet, so I'm not sure. Somebody let me know in the comments. Got this skill 3, Gladless passive. When you attack an enemy, increase your action bar by 30%. If your HP ratio is less than enemy, remove 1 buff from the enemy if you have less buffs than the enemy. That's kind of cool. Acid Cannon. Attack all enemies. Inflict 1 turn defense down. This attack will not land as a glancing hit. Uppercut. Attack an enemy. If attack on your turn, gain another turn with a 30% chance. So 30% chance of a violent mechanic with this uppercut skill. Fire Archon. Becomes a guild crit leader once he is 6-starred. He is very slow though. Max speed of 91 once he is stacked up. The Usurper passive. Attack up, crit up. Gains an extra turn with a 15% chance whenever an enemy turn ends. And grant yourself 1 turn of attack up and crit up. When the effect activates, the activation chance will be increased. Each time this ability doesn't activate and will be reset after activated. So if you notice, there's like this little counter thing that's like right up on like the upper left hand side. I actually hadn't read this, so I wasn't sure what it does. So every time it doesn't activate, the counter goes up and it increases the chances of it activating. I like that. So He doesn't need a lot of speed, but he does need some speed because you still want him to actually get some attack bar. Drain Essence, attack all enemies 3 times and recover HP by 50% of the damage dealt. Each attack has a 25% chance to absorb their action bar by 15%. This is why you still want a little bit of speed because he's going to absorb some of their action bar. So you want him to still be able to get some of that movement going, even though he's not going to be using this usurper passive all the time. You know, Skill 1, Telekinesis. Attack an enemy 3 times. Each attack has a 60% chance to inflict 2 turn speed down. He's really good in guild content with the crit leader skill. I have seen people using him in arena for offense. They can buff him up and then he can just go bonkers. Um, but yeah, mostly I see him in guild content. Fire Bookworm. This guy is great. He's got a guild crit damage leader skill, which is cool once he becomes 6-starred. He's one of the few units with a crit damage leader skill. Um, and this skill 3, Sunspot, attack all enemies 5 times. If you look down here, the damage multiplier is really low, but it's 5 times. So 5 times 8 is 400% of his attack. That is what he's hitting with. 400% attack. This skill ignores all buffs on the target, and each buff on the target increases the damage by 50%. 50%. This is a great unit for those stall teams in Arena. Um, I've seen him paired up with the water turtle tank and the fire sphere sage, which we will get into eventually here in this video. Um, because the fire sphere sage has a crit rate leader skill for the arena. I think it's the arena. Um, we'll find out here in a minute. Um, but with that turtle tank buffing him up and giving him more crit, he doesn't need a whole lot. He doesn't really need attack boost because if he's hitting people with buffs, he's tearing right through them like tissue paper. Just he is the anti-bear unit. This guy right here will eat through bears. Just eat through bears. I am waiting to get the last unit for that arena offense team so that I can start using this against those bear teams because I'm coming for you guys. I am coming for you. Skill 2, Consecutive Strike. Attack all enemies and has a 50% chance to inflict 2 turn speed down and a tack down. 3 turn cooldown once he is skilled up. And then Electric Bolt, Element Bolt, not Electric Bolt. Attack an enemy has a 80% chance to inflict 2 turn uncurable. Really great unit for arena. Really good unit for guild because of this crit damage skill. Again, really good paired with the water turtle tank. Fire Ninrad. Become an element speed leader once he is 6-starred. Pretty good base speed to begin with. Passive skill 3, Escape Plan. Has a 20% chance to dodge when attacked. Damage which would otherwise kill you will be canceled. This increases your action bar by 50%. This effect is activated only once per turn. So you need to be pretty quick so that this passive skill does not get stuck in cooldown. But good unit. People know what he reminds everybody of. Attack an enemy 2 times. Each attack has a 60% chance to inflict 1 turn stun. Attack ignores 30% of defense. Pretty decent. Little, not a bad multiplier either. It's 136% for those of you counting at home. Shuriken Toss. Attack an enemy and inflict 1 turn damage over turn. Damage based on your speed. Decent unit. Decent unit. He's mostly a PvP unit. Don't see him used too much in PvE, though. The the self uh, the self sustain mechanic could make him advantageous in Death Lab, where you might have to worry about your squishy cannons getting wiped by a tail whip. Um, he will survive it, and then your healer can just get him back up and get him another turn, and then you can don't have to worry about him dying. Fire Engineer Robot. This is a fantastic unit. Fantastic unit. Um, I see him used a ton in Juggernaut. I use him in Juggernaut. He's on my Water Juggernaut team. Um, he's good, good everywhere. All teammates have a 33% HP uh, leader skill during arena. 20% resistance leader once he's 6-starred. 20% resistance once he is 6-starred. The skill 3 overclocking. Overclocking. Increase the action bar of all allies by 30%. Grant other allies 2-turn immunity, 1-turn speed up, and 1-turn attack up. Using this skill will consume 30% of your HP and inflict 1-turn burn to yourself. So you are hurting yourself a little bit to use this skill, but you are doing a lot to your allies. And then the skill 2 maintenance, you recover HP by 24% and decrease cooldown by 1 turn for all allies. This ability cannot be affected by cooldown modifying abilities. So if you have 2 of these guys, because the water one also does this maintenance, they cannot maintenance each other back to just keep going and going and going. These maintenances do, however, work on other units, such as the Dark War Nurse, who has a skill that decreases cooldown. It also works on the Rumkegger of the Water Ghost Captain. Very good unit. Really like this skill. Deconstruct a skill 1, attack an enemy with a 50% chance to remove 1 buff, damage based on your defense. So you want him nice and tanky, so he takes a hit, and he also does extra damage with this skill 1, which you're hopefully not having him use too much, to be completely honest. Fire Gunslinger, fantastic dungeon unit, fantastic for everywhere that you want to use him, really. Speed lead for dungeons, plus 25 speed in dungeons, gets 15% crit rate once he's 6-starred. Decent speed to begin with. Battlefield Jazz Hand passive. I am not doing Jazz Hands, bite me. Increase the action bar of all allies by 15% each time your attack lands as a critical hit. This effect does not affect allies who have similar abilities. Will not work on other gunslingers. Um, or other units that increase action bar off critical hits. Um, I have not tried him with the Electromancers to see if they nullify this Jazz Hand. If anybody has already tested that and they already know the answer to that, if they don't mind leaving a comment for this video for everyone, that would be greatly appreciated. But I have not tested it out because I was not aware of this little nugget to his skill. Aimed shoot, not aimed shot, aimed shoot. Apply 2-turn mark on the enemy and then attack. This attack will not land as a glancing hit. Deal double damage to boss or enemy that is under an ability effect. It is a single hit, but it does deal a lot of damage. Fast draw, attack an enemy 2 times, damage based on your speed. Pretty straightforward. Fire Bomb Man. Fire Bomb Man. He has a element accuracy leader skill, 33%. He also gets another 20% accuracy once he is 6-starred. He can be stacked up to 98 speed for a bomber. That is pretty decent, not gonna lie. Demolitionist passive. Plant a bomb to target with a 70% chance when you attack an enemy. This is the passive skill. Bomb damage equal to 120% of your attack. If an enemy is trying to remove a bomb, there is a 50% chance, 50% chance that their removal will fail and the bomb will take out the bomb squad. This guy is diabolical. Diabolical. Trying to take out the first responders. That's just mean, guys. Detonator, skill 2. Attack an enemy has a 100% chance to inflict a 1-turn defense down and a 2-turn bomb. Bomb damage is equal to 360% of the attack. This guy is a wicked bomber. Wicked, wicked bomber. Skill 1, Cherry Bomb. Attack an enemy has a 40% chance to inflict a 1-turn stun. Fire Ghost Captain. He has an everywhere speed lead, 18 speed lead for all teammates, all elements, all 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 content. Very good speed lead. Ghost Ship Fleet. Attack all enemies 3 times. Each attack has a 50% chance to inflict 2-turn speed down and decrease action bar by 50%. That's pretty wicked. That is pretty wicked. Speed down and decrease action bar by 50%, and it attacks 3 times. Pretty wicked. Phosphorescence. Attack an enemy 4 times randomly. Each attack has a 60% chance to inflict 2-turn defense down, 3 turns cooldown. Ghost Crew gets improved once he is 6-starred, and it adds attack bar decrease, attacks an enemy, and deals less damage to all other enemies. This is an AoE skill 1. This is the only unit that I am aware of that has an AoE skill 1. Is the fire, well, not just the fire, all of the ghost captains have an AoE skill 1. Fire Puppet Artist becomes an arena defense leader at 6-star, decent speed. Skill 3 Mixing, even the HP ratio of an target enemy and the lowest HP ally. Afterwards, inflict 2-turn defense down to the enemy and grant 2 stacks of foresight to the ally. For those of you unaware, foresight, the chance of receiving a glancing hit is increased by 100% for a certain number of times, and that is where the stacks come in. It grants 2 stacks, so 2 times receiving a hit, you get a 100% chance of it glancing, of 100% chance of increased of it glancing. That sounded really dumb. You know what I mean. Skill 2, Warm Colors. Remove all debuffs on target ally. That is a 1-target ally. Recovers HP of all allies by 24% once skilled up and grant 1 turn of immunity. But it only removes the debuffs of 1 ally. Dream Touch, Skill 1. Attack an enemy, has a 30% chance to absorb target's action bar by 15% and inflict 1 turn sleep. Damage is based on your speed. Decent unit. I really only see her used in arena defenses and guild content. Not seeing her used in any other dungeons. Fire Annihilator. Actually, kind of a decent unit. Um, I'm building one. I'm building everything, but I'm building one. He has a fire element crit rate skill, leader skill, 25%. 6-star, he gains 20% accuracy. He's got decent speed. Skill 3, Absolute Advantage. Increase action bar by 100% of target ally. Afterward, grant 3-turn attack up to those allies with higher attack power, and grant 3-turn defense up to those allies with higher defense power. Now, say you're in arena and you've got 1 nuker and 1 tank. He's buffing both of them because one's got higher defense and one's got higher attack. That is why this guy is really a good unit. Most of the really good units, they only do attack up or defense up. Sorry. This one does both. It is just not to both both to the same unit. Skill 2, you got the spray, which most of these annihilators have. Attack all enemies, has a 80% chance to apply blind for 2 turns. When hitting a target with damage over turn, reduce this ability's cooldown by 1 turn. Okay. Sting, attack an enemy that has a 60% chance to inflict a 3-turn damage over turn. So this is where this skill can buff this skill. Sorry, I think I'm getting a cold. This attack ignores all buffs on the target. This will eat through Unyield. All of these annihilators, skill 1 will eat through Unyield. Fire Wisp Catcher, dungeon HP leader skill. I don't really see anybody using him as a leader. Flame Drive passive, decrease target's max HP by 30% of the damage dealt. When attacking enemies with tree attribute, the crit damage is increased by 100%. If your attacks land as a critical hit, remove 1 buff with a 30% chance and shorten your cooldown by 1 turn. I think he might be really good in dungeons, and I'm not sure if I have one built yet, but I'm gonna. Mm-hmm. Attack all enemies and recover HP equal to 20% of the damage dealt. For targets with a lower level than yourself, deal an additional 2% damage per level difference. Always be drinking that water, boys. Skill 1, Vortex. Attack an enemy has a 70% chance to decrease the action bar by 30%. Good unit. Um, I think he's low key going to be pretty good in some of these tree dungeons. Yeah, really good nuker. Fire Assassin. An arena monster. I'm not really seeing him good anywhere else. Not really. If somebody else has a good spot for him, let me know. And please let me know what team you're using him in because I would love to know that as well. All teammates get a 33% HP leader increase during arena. I don't see anybody using that. Bloodthirsty passive. The healing effects received by yourself are doubled, while all other healing effects received by others are halved. Additionally, based on the number of units on the field, including fallen units, your health at or below half each will increase your speed by 20 and your damage by 20%, with boss units providing double the bonus. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's more awesome than it reads, or maybe I'm just getting lost in the sauce on all this wording for all this. If somebody has built this guy already and has used him up, and they've got something for me about him, where he is just super OP, hit me up. Let me know. Right now, I'm just all these assassins are just confusing the crap out of me, guys. I just I don't quite get the reason behind these mechanics. Deadly Price, consume 50% of your current HP, then attack the target, lower your HP. The more defense is ignored, gain 2 turns of shield based on 50% of the damage dealt. Poison Shiv, attack target, apply 2-turn defense over time to both yourself and the target. Effect cannot be resisted. It's like you're trying to kill him. I get that he does more damage the less HP that he's got, but he doesn't heal himself back up at all, except for a little bit from this, I think. No, 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 no. You're just eating your own health, and then you're giving yourself damage over turn. You're just killing yourself over and like, every time you move. You're just getting yourself closer to dead. So that's why I don't get them. I don't. Fire Bear. He is great. He is so great. 6-star. He gets an effect accuracy boost of 20%. He does not get a leader skill. He has this slow to react passive. Due to sluggishness, damage or healing will not take effect immediately, but will be delayed until the end of your turn. He is literally a giant punching bag. He just sits there, he just keeps getting hit, and he just keeps laughing. It's actually kind of fun. Additionally, when you attack, you will deal additional damage by 30% of the accumulated damage and healing received. You want him nice and slow and nice and tanky. Lots of HP. Lots of HP. Decent defense, and let him just suck up all that damage and healing. Suck it all up, and then boom. Bear down the mountain. Grant yourself 2-turn crit up and attack all enemies. If you kill an enemy, you will gain 1 turn of unyield. Damage increases based on your maximum HP. Like I just said, nice and tanky. He crit boosts himself, and then if you kill an enemy, you gain unyield. So if this slow to react passive activates at the end of your turn and kills you, well, if he's got unyield, he's gonna survive it with unyield. Pretty decent mechanics worked into this bear. And skill 1 gigging, attack an enemy 2 times, apply 2-turn defense down with a 50% chance each time. Recover yourself by 30% of the damage dealt. Damage increases based on your maximum HP. All of these bears are really good. All of them are really good. They are vulnerable to bash. Their only real vulnerability is bash. Fire Ripper and the last of the 4 stars. Fire Ripper. 6-star becomes a guild speed lead. Inner Killer passive. At the start of your turn, there is a 20% chance to remove all debuffs and gain 200% crit damage during this turn. For each buff you have, the chance increases by 5%. Cool. Additionally, your attacks will recover HP to the ally with the lowest HP ratio by 30% of the damage dealt. Not bad, not bad. I am building one. Not built yet. Attack the enemy and increase your action bar by 50%, damage based on your speed. After using this ability during your turn, there is a 30% chance to automatically cast this ability. That's cool. Kind of like, that's why it's called Boomerang Hat. It'll just come right back at you and get you. Insidious Strike Skill 1. Attack an enemy 2 times. Each attack has a 70% chance to apply Incurable for 2 turns. Decent little support nuker. Like I said, these support nukers are. I think they're important for Abyss and for the simulator, and he's got the guild speed leader, so he's going to speed up your uh, your tree simulator turn cycling for everybody. Pretty decent. On to the Fire Twin Blade. 33% arena speed lead. 33 arena speed lead. Not percent. 33 arena speed lead. 15% crit rate at 6-star. Eternal Forge passive. Immune against reducing action bar effects. At the start of your turn, revive 1 dead ally with a 50% chance and 50% action bar and grant 1 turn unyield and effect up. There's a 4-turn cooldown once he is fully skilled up. That is pretty quick cooldown for this kind of a skill. Air Slash, skill 2. Attack an enemy, inflict 2-turn defense down. Damage based on target's max HP. You want to make him nice and tanky, and you want him to have crit rate, crit damage. Tanky with crit rate, crit damage. Quick Slash, attack an enemy, cast Air Slash automatically on a random enemy if the target ally gets killed. If the target gets killed by this attack, damage based on your max HP. Like I said, nice and tanky. You want to have some attack though for this air slash, but you look over here. This is what a complete um, unaffected innate value system, which is what IVS is supposed to mean. That's what this is at zero zeros, all zeros. So he's already a pretty balanced unit, and then you want him nice and tanky. Fireman at Arms, HP skill, HP leader skill, 33% for everybody. Great. 6-star improves his thrust, damage based on max HP once he is 6-starred. Great little first skill. Attacks enemy, damage increase as target's HP gets worse. So lower the enemy's HP gets, the more damage he's pushing out with this skill. Skill 3, Searing Blaze. Attack an enemy, remove all buffs, and inflict 2-turn taunt. Damage based on your max HP. If this ability is in cooldown, you have a 30% chance to counterattack the attacker with Searing Blaze when attacked. Searing Blitz. Searing Blitz. Psych Up. Attack yourself. Grant yourself 3-turn attack up and immunity. Grant an extra turn after using this ability. Cooldown of 3 turns, which is just perfect for attack up and immunity for 3 turns once he is skilled up. Fire Iron Fist. I've already gone over this girl once in one of my videos. She disappoints me for a 5-star. Disappoints me greatly. She does get more speed once she's 6-star, so she goes up to 100 speed. She will go up to 105 if you can stack her up 5 times, but these are 5-stars. That's going to be a while, boys. Gonna be a while. Fire teammates get plus 42% HP. Skill 3, Palm of Courage. Remove all debuffs on all allies. Grant them 3 turns immunity and increase action bar by 30%. Skill 2, Pressure Punch. Attack an enemy. Has a 100% chance to inflict 2-turn defense down. 1-turn stun. Damage based on your defense. Flick. Attack an enemy and remove 1 buff with a 70% chance. Damage based on your defense. No heal. Disappointing. Fire Dr. Evil. I see him used all over the place. You will see why. He's got a fire teammate crit rate, 3 to 33% leader skill. I believe all Dr. Evils are at 33% crit rate leader skill for their element. Skill 3, Disintegrate. Grant yourself 1-turn attack up, attack all enemies. So he self buffs himself and then attacks. Attack all enemies and maximizes their ability cooldown. Additionally, when you attack a target with max HP greater than twice of your max HP, the damage dealt is increased by 40%. It's actually pretty decent for killing off some of the intermediate levels in Tunnel, because if you get him on really glass cannony build, he's doing an extra 40% damage to everybody he touches in there. So he's pretty decent as long as you can make sure that you keep him protected enough to not get hit and killed. Um, Attack all enemies with a 70% chance to inflict a 1-turn stun and 2-turn speed down, not defense, speed down. Laser, attack all enemies 2 times. Each attack has a 50% chance to apply 2-turn blind, damage based on your speed. Fire Electromancer. He has a crit rate leader skill, 25% for everyone. Like that. 60% accuracy boost, or 6-star gets a 20% accuracy boost. God, I'm dumb today. Static Spark passive. This is what got reworked in one of the balance patches recently. Um, Supposed to have made him a lot better. I don't have him, so I wouldn't know. I didn't really pay that much attention to it, so I guess we're going to find out right now. Remove all debuffs on you at the start of your turn. Okay. Covers the HP and action bar of all allies by 8% for each remove. What? Additionally, remove 8% of the target's current HP when attacked. This effect does not apply to. It needs to be Oblivion right away. Anytime you see this unit, Oblivion his ass. Just Oblivion his ass. Don't let this static spark work. Reverse polarity. Attack all enemies has an 80% chance to remove all buffs and replace several buffs to debuffs. I don't like this guy. Attack all enemies 3 times. Increase action bar by 10% each time your attack lands as a critical hit. So he's making himself go faster. He's always got this passive just chewing through people. This guy's dirty. I don't like him. He's got the crit rate skill everywhere. Yeah, this guy pretty dirty. Pretty dirty unit. Fire Music Queen. Speed boost of 15 once she's 6-star. Has a 33% HP leader skill for all allies. Skill 3, Warm Hospitality. Attack all enemies 2 times. Each attack has an 8% chance to remove all buffs and decrease their action bar by 20%. This attack will not land as a glancing hit. Not bad. Cursed Melody. Attack all enemies 3 times. Inflicts 2-turn defense down, incurable, and blind with an 80% chance. Damage increased by 15% for each debuff on the target. Need her to have accuracy so that she can pump out more damage. Simple. But you want her to have accuracy anyway because you want her to get all these debuffs. You want her to clear off all the buffs with her skill 3 and then drop all these debuffs. So she needs to have a lot of accuracy. A lot of accuracy. Dissonance skill 1. Attack an enemy and inflict 2-turn attack down with an 80% chance once skilled up. Fire Sorcerer. I just got one. If you would have seen the first video I ever made with my messed up audio, I got him. Finally have him 6-starred. I just started putting some power beans into him. I plan on getting him up and running soon. He should be fun. 15 extra speed once he's 6-starred. All teammates get 33% attack. Kind of like that. Pyrokinesis. Passive skill. When your turn begins, recover 10% HP for all allies. When yourself or an ally takes fatal damage, remove all debuffs from the target and recover 50% HP. If it is applied to yourself, recover to 100% HP. Additionally, when attacking enemies, there's a 50% chance to apply burn for 1 turn. Mana Compress. Attack an enemy and remove 1 buff. Damage increases as target's HP gets better. Skill 1, Mana Flow. Attack an enemy with a 50% chance to inflict a 1-turn stun. Pretty good little unit. Arena. PvP. Arena, guild content. PvP. Mr. Barbarian. More PvP. Fire teammates get a 42% defense. Hot Temper passive. If your attack lands as a glancing hit, immediately use Megaton Smash to attack again. Additionally, when attacked, there is a 50% chance to counterattack and apply 1 turn of stun, and the damage taken of a single instance will not exceed 35% of your max HP. Megaton Smash. Attack an enemy. This attack will not land as a glancing hit and ignores all buffs on the target. Attack an enemy. Inflict 2-turn damage over turn if the attack lands as a critical hit. 6-star, he gets more crit rate, decent speed, pretty tanky. Could be a pretty good unit. PvP. Fire Merc Mom. Do not have one. All teammates get 33% defense. Proof back swipe. That's Xcut. That's Tumblr. X swipe. Recover HP of yourself when she's 6-starred with her skill 1, so she does self heal. What's her Tumbler passive? Immune to inability effects. After being attacked, counterattack with a probability of 20%. And that would be what she would be countering attack with, is her self-heal mechanic. Increase your defense by 30% and your counterattack chance by 20%, stacking. Each time you're attacked, increase your defense by 30% and your counterattack chance by 5%, up to 5 times. So that's what that stack is that she gets. It's boosting her defense by 30% and her counterattack chance by 5%, up to 5 times. X cut, attack an enemy 2 times. Each attack has a 80% chance to inflict 2 turn defense down. Afterwards, grant yourself 2 stack provoke damage based on your defense. And this tumbler is boosting her defense. And it's also going to help her with her healing, because you're going to recover HP with this once you're 6-starred. This is a really good unit. Defenses, I'd say defenses. She would probably be a really good tank for Juggernaut, for the tank side. Um, kind of want one now. She seems really decent. Fire Wandering Monk. Guild accuracy leader skill of 42%. Not sure how I feel about that. 6-star, he gets 15 speed. Impermanence. Okay. Passive skill. The higher the speed, the higher the glancing probability when being attacked, and when receiving a glancing attack, increase your action bar by 20%. When attacking the enemy, deal additional damage that equals 1,000% of your speed, and with a 30% chance to apply 2 turns of blind. You want to make them really, 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 really fast. Penance, remove all debuffs on you and gain 2-turn counter. Afterwards, grant a 2-turn healing over turn to all allies. Punish, attack an enemy 3 times with a 70% chance to apply 2-turn defense down on the first 2 attacks. First 2 attacks. First 2 attacks are a 60% attack, and the last one is 140. He's a PvP unit. Guild content, arena offense, maybe. Fire Psycho Surgeon. He has a accuracy leader skill, 33%. Almost done. Just turning off my AC. Passive skill, anesthetic. Yeah. When you attack an enemy except boss, prevent their passive abilities from functioning and apply 2-turn oblivion on the target. Additionally, deal an extra 30% damage to enemies with debuffs. Try Slice, attack an enemy 3 times. Each attack has a 80% chance to inflict 2-turn defense down. Attack an enemy for skill 1 Slice, attack an enemy 70% chance to inflict 2-turn damage over turn. Damage based on your speed. He gets accuracy up by 20% once he is 6-starred, and he has the leader skill, and he is gonna Oblivion people. Good unit. Good unit. Good all around. If you absolutely need to use him in tunnel, he is decent enough to knock it out for you if you need the Oblivion. Fire Sphere Sage. Here he is, guys. Here he is. He's got the arena crit rate, 33% for all allies. 6-star, he gets some resistance. Thermo Core. Grant all allies 3 turns of attack up and transform into core form. Core is immune to debuffs and action bar decreasing effect, but cannot be controlled. After taking 5 hits, it will explode, dealing damage and reverting to Sage form. While in core form, other allies deal additional true damage equal to 50% of their attack power when they attack. See, now I see why he's the leader for those arena offensive teams. Yeah, yeah, he's a good little unit. Yep, I like this thermal core. Yep. Yep. Plus Nova. Attack all enemies. Has an 80% chance to increase their cooldown by 1 turn. Automatically casts its ability when in core form with lower damage and effect rate. Impact skill 1. Attack an enemy through 2 times. Each attack removes 1 buff on the target with a 50% chance. Great arena offense leader skill. Great arena offense unit. Fire specialist. One of the best units in the game. One of the best. I absolutely love mine. She is the best. Yeah, she's the best. All around leader skill of 25. Once she is 6-starred, she gets extra 20% accuracy. Her coking passive. When attacking or being attacked, there is a 60% probability of converting one of the target's buff effects into damage over turn. She is a passive stripper. When she attacks or gets attacked, she will passively remove buffs from anything she touches. Love this unit. When you attack an enemy, remove 5% of the target's current HP for each debuff effect they have, but not exceeding 15% of their max HP. I'm not going to lie, every time I attack, I'm taking 15%. Attack all enemies 2 times with a 50% chance to apply 1 turn of stun and damage over turn each time. That's three debuffs, 15%. Launch an electromagnetic projectile to attack an enemy with an 80% chance of applying 1 turn paralysis. Absolutely love this unit. She is great everywhere. I use her in tunnel. I use her in my arena offense. I use her in guild. I use her. I might be able to use her in a dungeon. Maybe. Well, we'll see. But I think she could probably handle it. She should be good enough. If anybody's using her in dungeons or in Abyss or in Juggernaut, let me know in the comments. Let me know. I would love to incorporate her into those teams if I can. Fire War Nurse, one of the best healers, most irritating units in the game for anybody that does not have one. Everyone that has one absolutely loves her. She has a 42% attack boost during guild battles. I love putting her as my attack leader because her skill 2, nanotherapy, which did get a little bit of a nerf, but it's okay. Remove 1 debuff from all allies, recover 26% of the HP, and increase the target ally's action bar by 50%. But she's also got this passive blood transfusion. Attack at the start of your turn. I don't know why she said it. Why I said attack. I'm sorry, guys. It's because the attack up down here at the bottom. That's why I said it. We're almost done, and you guys can put me in the comments. At the start of the turn, remove 1 debuff effect from yourself and the ally with the lowest health, and balance the health ratio. If your health is the lowest, balance with the ally who has the highest health. When based on health status of the ally with the lowest health, grant them 1 turn of either attack up, healing over turn, or invincibility. Invincible, but it's an invincibility. Really good unit. Skill 1 is just regular injection. Attack an enemy, recover 18% HP to the ally's lowest health. Great unit. Really like her. You want her nice and fast, nice and tanky. You want her to take some hits. You want her to just keep on trucking. That was it. That was it. Only an hour and 10. We shaved off 20 minutes off that, guys. I think that's some progress. I don't know if we're going to be able to make it any slower for these last three, but hey, let me know in the comments if you agreed or disagreed with any of my assessments. And if you have any responses to any of my questions during the video, please let me know down in the comments. If you liked the video, leave me a like. If you didn't, leave me a like anyway, and subscribe. Have a great day, guys.